Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to the Sweetwater Minute. Today we're going to continue our tour of Sweetwater with a visit to the purchasing department. I'm here with the Director of Purchasing, John Grabowski. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
John, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about what you do in your department?
So my department is the purchasing department. So everything that we sell to our customers, Sweetwater first has to buy from a manufacturer. And so we're the ones that are responsible for stocking the warehouse, so then the salespeople can sell to the customers.
I see. So you have to get the stuff in order for us to be able to sell it and send it out to the people watching the video.
Yes.
So Sweetwater stocks something like 12,000 products or something like that. It's an incredible number of items to keep track of. How do you choose what products we actually carry here at Sweetwater?
Well, we have some really great vendor relationships to start. Our goal really is for anyone who's out there composing, producing, recording, performing music, we want to have the tools that they need to do that.
Right.
So we try to carry best-in-class products for any of those things that they're going to need.
And at all kinds of price points and to meet all sorts of needs as far as that goes.
Right. Everything from something that somebody a little bit more entry-level would need, all the way up to, you know, the really cool boutique things that we all really like to see.
Right. Now, one thing that's always blown me away is I'll look in the warehouse and there's all these stacks and stacks of gear, and I see the products that have come in, the piles and piles, and I also know how many orders we get. I know we ship something like 1,000 orders a day, and at holiday time it goes up to like 2,000 orders a day or more even. How do you possibly know how many of a given product to order so that we aren't always out of stock?
Right. So that's the million-dollar question. We don't have a crystal ball, and I guess if I had one wish, it'd be that we could tell the future, so we know exactly how much we need of any given thing.
Right.
But you know, when you look at our warehouse, it does look like a lot of product, but it's actually about the same amount of products as we would ship in any given month. We can, you know, I've got some very experienced people in the department. All my buyers have been doing what they've been doing for more than 10 years. So we can usually, we can see from sales trends how many to keep ordering of something, and we can, you know, we kind of know when a product category is on a decline or an increase, so we can adjust accordingly. The toughest part is when we're trying to figure out how many to order of a new product, because that's a little more shot in the dark, and we have to look at similar products, and a lot of it comes down to a gut reaction, and just trying to make sure that we're going to have enough so that, you know, that initial spike from that new product that customers are excited about, that we have enough to fill all those orders.
Sure. Sure. I know, like we go to a NAMM show or an AES show or something, there's hundreds of new products. It has to be a huge job to keep track of all that stuff. Now, one of the things you guys are also really good at is just about always, I'd say, Sweetwater tends to have the new products first. You know, how does that, do you have special relationships that allow that to happen? Is it because of how many we order, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. We have it is the vendor relationships. We do have really good, we really do try to partner with our manufacturers, and that does play a huge part. The fact that we're a little bit more nimble and able to execute things a little more quickly. So sometimes if we get short notice of a new product, we can get it in our system and on order faster.
Right.
And we're a very important account for pretty much any manufacturer we deal with. So our orders do get prioritized. And they're also very cognizant of the fact that of the way that we'll represent their product very professionally. We've got a very knowledgeable sales staff, so they like the way that we'll present their product and the way that we'll actively sell our product and introduce it to our customers. And so they make sure we've got the product to do that.
So you've talked a little bit about how you don't have a crystal ball, yet you clearly also have an experienced staff, and you've got a lot of experience in the industry and as a buyer yourself. Now, how did you gain that experience? How did you learn to do what you do?
After college, I had a retail background that wasn't involved in MI or the industry we're in at all. After that, I came on board with a chain music store, and I managed a keyboard department first, and then I managed a store, and after that I went to the corporate office and was a copywriter for the website, and then a web content manager, and eventually part of the merchandising group as an associate buyer. When I first came to Sweetwater, it wasn't as director of purchasing, it was as a merchandising manager, so I worked a lot with the inventory assortment then too, before I was given the opportunity to run the purchasing department.
Right, I see. I see. So you really have had a lot of experience with different areas of the whole retail part of the business.
Right, and it all really does. I benefit from all that experience every day. You know, the fact that I've been on a sales floor and working with a customer who had a particular need, and I might have been out of stock on something and needed to show them something else that would do the same thing for them. You know, all the way to the different dynamics at the corporate office where the merchandising group, where you start understand better some of the dynamics of working with the different manufacturers, and there are some politics involved, and
Sure.
Just being able to balance all of that.
Right, right. It's definitely walking a tightrope as
Yeah,
far as that goes.
it can
Because
be.
you have to have the products. You don't want to be out of stock. You have to keep the manufacturers happy, and you work with them as an account as well. But, of course, the end customer, the people that we're serving, are the ones, of course, that we're most concerned about, and that's who we want
Right.
to provide the best service to and make sure we have the products for them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great. Thanks for joining me today, John. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to stop by here.
My pleasure.
I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for joining me for the Sweetwater Minute.